Hey guys, so today I'm gonna start working on this room. Yesterday me and Michaela filmed our unboxing video of all our guinea pig and pet supplies, so it's all over the floor from where we opened it yesterday, and then there's stuff all over the floor over here that I need to put away and organize. All of the cages need to be cleaned. So I'm gonna probably start over here because I need to organize all of this stuff and bring that storage container right there into here and put our huge bag of hay in it. So I think that is what I'm gonna start with. This is going to probably take me a couple of days to get through. I don't think I'll finish all this today. It's just crazy. And the other reason why it's like that is because I just recently did cage renovations where I built that double cage over there. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get started. So what I was doing over here was first moving a lampshade that came from a broken lamp, and then that is a basket storage container of piggy blankets and things that needed to be washed. So I was first getting those from out of that storage container so that I could use them in just a minute here to put that pelleted paper bedding into. And of course, towards the end here, I ended up having to dump whatever poops that came from off of that dirty laundry into the trash can, because as you know, guinea pigs are pooping machines. And that's what they do the best. They poop a lot. And you'll have to forgive me, my dogs are over here playing in the background. So for now it's just me with the dogs. And then I was just wiping out that storage container with some water and vinegar solution to get it all clean and ready to go for those paper pellets.
Answers come your way, so I prayed that you made two stars in the sky for the two of them.
And let me just tell you, those bags there are so heavy. Those were 25 pounds each. I couldn't find any scissors, so I'm here trying to rip it open as fast as I could just to get it into that container. Oh man, those are so heavy. And then there's the second bag. I was about to die when I picked up that box and took it in the other room. Empty box. A litter box with cleaning supplies. That's my pellet container, and here I go get the really heavy 25-pound bag of pellets and pour that in there. Those bags are so heavy. And then what I was doing here was trying to figure out where to put everything on the floor. So I put that house into the girls' cage, and then I ran and found a storage container that used to be up under Kaytee and JoJo's cage, and started trying to stuff all of the Amazon fleece beddings that we got in there, and as you can see, it really doesn't fit. That I did the best I could to mash it all down in there. was just vacuuming the area that I had cleared on the one side of the room so that I could start to put the hay containers in place.
I see you in the sunshine shining, with the wind blowing through your hair. You look so sweet in your cheap sunglasses.
And here I go, adding the leftover Oxbow hay into the container first, and trying to open this big bag, 50-pound bag of Tractor Supply. This is the first time that I've ever bought the hay from Tractor Supply, so I'm not sure if the Piggies are really going to approve of it. I may need to go back to Oxbow, but we'll see. And I was cutting the straps from off of the hay because the straps are what help keep it compressed down, and as you can see, it did not fit the container because I put it in wrong. I had it straight up and down. I should have laid this in sideways instead of straight up and down, and some of it fell on the floor. I had to go get my second big container to put some of the hay into that in order to actually get it all to fit, because I had the leftover Oxbow hay and then the way that I put it into the container just wasn't working. There's Aspen, some more vacuuming. I had to vacuum all that hay that got spilled on the floor from where I ended up having to go get the second container for that hay. It would have fit the container if it weren't for the leftover Oxbow that I had and the fact that I put the bag in wrong, but I'll know that for the next time. And then I was putting that paper pellets up under that table there, and then the Oxbow pellets beside it. And here I'm beginning to clean Kaytee and JoJo's cage. I apologize that the camera angle is not really good. You can't see what I'm doing over there, but all the way to the right was a house, and then I have one on to the left side, and then I was getting the tunnel, the blanket out from under there, and you're seeing that I'm putting a new blanket there because the other one was dirty. And then this is the second house, and this is also where I keep the heat pads for the skinny pigs. Yes, we do still use heat pads in the summer because the AC does run in this room, and skinny pigs need to feel warm and cuddly because they're naked. They don't have fur, so they have to be kept warm. Ideal temperature for them is between 72 and 75 degrees. Slip cover for the heat pad was dirty, so I ended up taking that off, and that's the rug that goes by their kitchen, and she needed to be emptied off. And then I was just getting some of the bedding and poops that got up underneath of their kitchen. And then they're over there checking everything out. I love when I'm cleaning cages because it's so cute and so funny how every time you put something new in there or you move something around, they have to come check it out and see what you're doing. So because I don't have the slip cover now that it's being washed, I was adding a blanket over top of the heat pad with a couple of little pee pads, and then another blanket on top of that. And then I'm scooping out their litter box or kitchen, and you'll see here in a minute that this ended up being a little bit more involved than what I thought. Sometimes I can just get by with just scooping out the back of it, because usually the back of it where the hay rack is where they soil. So I usually just take out the soil part, and then add new litter where I took out some. But as you can see at this point, most of the litter has been scooped out. Most of it ended up being wet. So I'm taking their kitchen litter pan out, and then that is some of the new pelleted paper bedding that I got. I'm trying to see how this works. This may not work for us. That is an empty litter box full of some fresh aspen that I went and got and just put it in that empty litter box to prevent it from getting all over the floor. So what I was actually doing here was sweeping out their loft, and usually what I do, as long as it's not too terrible, is just sweep everything off down the ramp, and I always clean the loft off first before cleaning the bottom, because clean from top to bottom, it makes no sense to clean the bottom part of the cage and then clean the top. So I completely replaced everything in their litter box, and I put their food bowl over off to the side first, and then I ended up changing my mind. Okay, so here is the really bad part. This ended up being a lot worse, but thankfully I had already emptied that litter box earlier. So I ended up not needing to do that. So here I am trying to sweep everything, and the blanket completely moved on me as soon as I got the broom over there. It just got stuck. So I was like, okay, you know what? Because I saw how dirty it was. And so I decided that the blanket actually needed to be replaced. And the plaid absorbent liners came from off of Amazon, in case you were wondering. And I recently ordered some new U-Haul. I'm going to switch to using U-Haul and washable puppy pads up underneath of the U-Haul for the absorbent layer instead of Amazon absorbent things, because I have some cage liners that ended up shrinking on me after the first wash, and now they won't lay flat. So I'm eventually going to start making my own fleece liners. Okay, so that is just vinegar and water that I was using to clean the cage out with. I don't use really anything else in there. Okay, so here I'm just adding a clean fleece blanket over top of that absorbent liner. And it's kind of like a mint green color, but I think that the lighting was making it look a little weird. I don't know. And then I'm trying to get that blanket to go up underneath of the stuff on the other side of the cage, if you're wondering what I'm doing, because the camera angle really wasn't all that great. I apologize for that. I'll get better. And you know, the piggies have to come check everything out. I love it when they do that. It's so cute.
Listen to the wind sigh, whisper.
Target noodle bath mats or pea pads. They're really absorbent. And sometimes they don't even need to be changed every day because they work so well for that. And I put the big house up underneath of the loft behind that ramp. It seemed to work out pretty well spare. And they're all here checking everything out. They're so sweet.
Come take my hand, fly away.
Okay, so now moving on to the other side of their cage, taking out that blanket because it too was really dirty and felt like it was kind of wet. So I'm removing that plus the noodle mat that was underneath where their forests are. They like the forests, but you'll see here in a minute that I ended up having to take those out as well. And so I was just getting another blanket here, and I decided to leave this in because I was wanting to show all of the pigs running around and checking out their little home or their little cage. There's a rainbow blanket going on here. And then because I was doing laundry, I was out of noodle mats, so I just added another blanket in on top of that. And a couple of blankets. Those blankets were from off of Amazon, and they work really well as pee pads. They're extremely absorbent, and they've been washed a gazillion times by now, so they have wicked very well. And so I was taking those little hides that came 2 in a pack and putting each of those on either side. And here in a minute you'll see that I decided to take out their fleece forests because I noticed that there was like yellow on the bottom of it, like it looked like it had gotten peed on. So I decided to take those out as well. And so that's what I ended up doing. But first, I decided to put their bunk bed on the other side across from that house so that they could have at least one more place to hide, because there are 4 females in here. The orange and white one, we were told was a male, but we got her home and checked her over, and she's not. She's a female. So we're good to go there. Those are incredibly hard to take off, like the little clips that they give you. So it looks like I'm struggling, that's why.
Come to me, touch me, put your hands on me, watch me lose control. The look in your eyes tells me you want me. I know you need me. Oh, DJ, play us a song we can dance to under the neon light with everyone watching.
Well, my video stopped and I didn't know it. I was giving everybody apple sticks and hanging out with all the piggies. Hi, how you doing? It's Scruffy, and the white one under the house is Grubs. Yeah. These 2 cages will get cleaned this evening after dinner. And then Kaytee and JoJo's cage got cleaned. He's going nuts. I'm trying to figure out what's going on with him right now. And Kaytee's a very vocal piggy. Well, he's running around the cage looking for something. What are you doing, bud? You gonna go bring some nanas? Hi, JoJo. Oh, good. Hi. Hello, Kaytee. How you doing, buddy? Aw, so sweet. You're such a sweet boy. Yeah. I don't know how the pelleted bedding is gonna work. I put some aspen over top of it. It might work well for everybody else, but it may not work in the skinny's cage. So far, I like mixture of aspen and paper bedding together. Oreo's sticking his head out. Oreo's always over here sticking his head out the house. Hi, buddy. Hey, you want to eat that? And chew on that? Hi. Hey, Coco. Oh, he ran out the other end. Okay, so here I was over here moving their hay container. I've had people kind of pick at me over that hay container. That is a snack shack, and I promise the piggies don't chew it. It's basically a glorified hay rack. If you watch Scotty's Animals, he has them in all his cage, and they use them at the LA Guinea Pig Rescue. So not an issue there. Just keep it stuffed with hay so that they can't crawl in it and pee in there and make it all gross and stuff like that. It's fine. There's some claw marks on the top of it from where they've climbed up on the top to get the hay out of the top part. So their litter box ended up not being too bad. So I ended up only having to scoop out just a little bit. And so that rug there ended up not being usable. So I think I ended up taking that completely out here and replacing it with another blanket because, like I said, I was doing laundry and ended up not having any more noodle mats. And there's Coco over there checking everything out. And there's a gray fleece blanket. And I'm trying to tuck it all up underneath of there, all nice and neat. And then another one of those really good Amazon fleece blankets with the paw prints. Put a pee pad underneath of there first, though. And so because of my horrible camera angle, you really can't see what I'm doing over here, but I'm basically cleaning out from underneath of the other house, and those are Piggy's Choice space houses, and I'll make sure to put a link in the description for if you want to get one for your piggies. And so now on to Scruffy and Grub's cage. This cage was just absolutely loaded with poop. And so here I am picking up all the poop because my shop vac always sucks the blanket and absorbent liners up into the vacuum. So it's too powerful for me to actually use in cages to vacuum off of blankets. So that makes it a little bit difficult. I'm gonna have to look into getting one of those hand vacuums that I see people using to see if that helps a little bit. That way I don't have to keep worrying around with that. So what I did, instead of picking up all of the poop by hand because it just was taking me way too long to do, I ended up rolling up the blanket, and here in a minute I'm going to take that blanket and just kind of shake it out into the trash can. It wasn't wet and it didn't have a smell, so anytime blankets or bath mats or pee pads in their cages are not wet and don't have any stains and don't smell bad, I go ahead and reuse them. So here I am picking up more poop from off of the absorbent liner. This is a gray absorbent liner from off of Amazon. They're pretty good, but the only thing that I hate about them is that hay sticks to them, and it's really hard to clean off even when you take it out to run it in the washer. It's really difficult to get the hay off, and I've tried both a horse brush and a rubber brush that I have to try to get the hay off of those, and it just doesn't all come off. And so then I end up having hay in the drum of my washing machine and sometimes coming out in the lint filter after the dryer has run. So Scruffy and Grubs are just running around checking everything out, and I had put down a fresh blanket for them on that side because their rug was dirty and needed a new one, and needed a new rug to act as a pee pad. It's a new tree trunk that I just purchased for them. They seem to really like those. Everybody has a clean cage. But look at this huge mess that I have to clean up now. And I'm not going to be able to film it because the battery is dead. And I need to put their blanket back up on top of there. Okay, so I'm back. I had to do the cleaning off camera because my battery is almost dead, but I've got enough just to come in and show you what everything looks like now that it's all been cleaned. So I still have this to do, and you really can't see much, but what it is, it's an avalanche of boxes, Guinea dad houses, and some more boxes over there for my unboxing haul that I have to clean up tomorrow. And then do the floors, because her floors have hay too, because that's where the cages used to be. So that's Casey and JoJo. And then over here we got Oreo and Coco and Scruffy and Grubs. And I think that their cage turned out so cute. It's got the tree trunks, and then I put the little crocodile frog thing in there, and I put 2 tunnels in there. I didn't really know what to do with the rainbow one, so I thought, well, I'll just give it to them. I didn't have room to put it in here because they have the strawberry, both of those, the big house and the bunk bed, so there wasn't really any room for me to put in there because they have a ramp that goes up, and I don't have enough room, I don't think, to offset the back of their cage. I could move this down. I could move their cage down a little bit, but I don't think that's a full grid. It might be. But what it can do is expand out of this cage from the back and turn it into a 3x5 with the loft instead of just a 2x5. I can do that. Yeah, I'd like to pull it down maybe just a little bit because I'd like to build a storage shelf that can go right here. I don't know, I may be able to get it to fit right there. So I got the air purifier plugged in over there instead, and I've got the floor pretty clean. I have some stains on the carpet that I'll have to vacuum with my Dyson first and then bring my scrubber in to clean that. So then I have, that's just an old extension cord, and my pellets are there. my 2 boxes of hay, and the paper pelleted litter. That's just like my cleaning supplies, and my aspen there and shop vac. I did, for the most part, clean this table off. There's like a scale there, some extra pellets, apple sticks, treats, first aid or emergency kit, power strip, cleaning supplies, coconut oil, hand sanitizer, a knife I was using to cut, I think, zip ties or something with, an old icy cup I need to throw away, a headband. And so that's pretty much everything. It looks really good in here now. I'm really proud of it.